Today's episode is brought to you by GetSkinnyOnline.com, your source of medically guided GLP-1 weight loss services online. You'll find popular peptides like Semaglutide and Tirzepatide in injectable, liquid, and pill forms to make your weight loss journey easy. Go to GetSkinnyOnline.com or check the show notes for the link. Now, here's your hosts.
If you've spent any time online lately, you've probably seen the before and after photos, the headlines, the friend of a friend who dropped a bunch of weight seemingly overnight. And almost all of it comes back to one class of medication, GLP-1s. Semaglutide, Tirzepatide, the drugs behind names like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Zepbound.
And if you're over 40 and you've watched your weight creep up no matter what you do, I bet a part of you has wondered, is this the thing that finally works for me? That's exactly what we're getting into today. Not the hype, not the fear, just what these drugs actually do, what the science says, and the stuff that matters specifically for our age group that nobody seems to talk about.
Let's start with the basics, because a lot of people are taking these or thinking about them without really knowing how they work. GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide 1. It's actually a hormone your own gut makes after you eat.
Right, so these medications aren't some foreign chemical. They're mimicking a signal your body already sends. And that signal does a few things. It tells your brain you're full, it slows down how fast your stomach empties, and it helps regulate blood sugar, so you feel satisfied sooner and that full feeling lasts longer.
Which is why people describe it as the food noise just quieting down. That constant background chatter about snacks, seconds, what's in the pantry, it gets turned way down.
And the evidence here is genuinely strong, which I want to be clear about because we always try to grade the science honestly on the show. These have been studied in large, randomized controlled trials. That's the gold standard. Real comparison groups, thousands of people. In one big 72-week trial, people on Tirzepatide lost around 20% of their body weight on average, and semaglutide was around 14%. Those are not small numbers.
They're not, and that's a real shift from the old era of just eat less and move more, which, let's be honest, has failed a lot of people who are genuinely trying.
So that's the good news. Now, here's where being over 40 changes the conversation, and this is the part I really want people to hear. When you lose weight quickly, and GLP-1s can cause quick weight loss, you don't just lose fat, you lose some muscle along with it.
And after 40, we're already fighting that battle. There's a process called sarcopenia. That's just the medical word for age-related muscle loss. And it starts quietly in our 30s and 40s and picks up speed. So if you layer fast weight loss on top of muscle you're already slowly losing, you can end up smaller but weaker, lighter on the scale but frailer.
Which is the opposite of aging well. So the single most important thing if you're on a GLP-1 or considering one after 40 is protecting your muscle while the fat comes off. And that comes down to two things:
protein and resistance training. On the protein side, one real risk is that when your appetite drops way down, you just don't eat much of anything, including protein. So you have to be intentional. Prioritize protein at every meal, even when you're not that hungry, because that's the raw material your body needs to hold on to muscle.
And resistance training is the other half. You don't need to become a bodybuilder. We're talking about the minimum effective dose here. A couple of strength sessions a week, working the major muscle groups. That's the signal that tells your body, keep this muscle. We still need it. Without that signal, your body's much happier to let it go.
Let's bust a few myths, because there's a lot of noise around these drugs. Myth number 1, it's cheating, or it's the easy way out.
I really dislike that one. Nobody says a person with high blood pressure is cheating by taking...
Quick reminder that today's episode is brought to you by GetSkinnyOnline.com, your source of medically guided GLP-1 weight loss services online. You'll find popular peptides like Semaglutide and Tirzepatide in injectable, liquid, and pill forms to make your weight loss journey easy. Go to GetSkinnyOnline.com or check the show notes for the link. Now, back to the show.
Their medication. Obesity has biological drivers, hormones, genetics, how your brain regulates appetite. Using a tool that addresses the biology isn't weakness. And honestly, anyone who's done it will tell you it's not effortless. You still have to eat well, move, and manage side effects.
Myth number 2, you'll just gain it all back the second you stop. And here's where I want to be fair to the nuance. It's true that if you stop and nothing else has changed, a lot of the weight tends to come back because that appetite signal goes back to baseline.
But that's not a reason to avoid them. It's the reason the muscle, the protein, and the strength habits matter so much. The people who do best treat the medication as a window to build the habits that carry them, not as a whole plan by itself.
And myth number 3, the one this whole show exists to push back on, that it's too late for you, that after 40 your body just won't respond. It's not true. these drugs work in midlife. Your body is still absolutely capable of change. It's just different than it was at 25, and different isn't the same as impossible.
Now, we have to talk about something that's changed a lot recently, because it directly affects anyone shopping for these online. There are two very different things being sold right now: FDA-approved GLP-1s and compounded versions.
The approved ones, the brand names, went through the full testing and approval process. Compounded versions are made by pharmacies, and here's the key thing: they are not FDA approved. They haven't gone through that same review for safety, quality, and effectiveness.
And the reason you saw so many cheap compounded options over the last couple of years is that there were official drug shortages, which opened a temporary legal window for pharmacies to make copies. Those shortages have now been declared resolved, and regulators have been closing that window and cracking down hard on large-scale compounding.
So if you're seeing an online service offering a suspiciously cheap, needle-free, no-appointment version, that's exactly the category getting the most scrutiny right now, and it's worth real caution. Regulators have also flagged genuine safety issues, including people getting the dose wrong and ending up in the hospital.
Which brings us to the most important disclaimer, and we mean this sincerely. Everything we're sharing today is educational. It is not medical advice. GLP-1s are not right for everyone. There are specific conditions where they're not safe, and we're not going to give you doses or tell you what to take.
What we will tell you is this: talk to a licensed healthcare provider, a real one who looks at your full history, your other medications, your health conditions, the things that make you you. Especially over 40, when most of us have a few more moving parts. Ask them directly whether an FDA-approved option is appropriate for you.
So let's bring it home with the 3 things we want you to walk away with. 1. GLP-1s genuinely work, and the evidence for weight loss is strong. This isn't hype. 2. After 40, protecting your muscle with protein and resistance training isn't optional. It's the thing that decides whether you end up healthier or just smaller. 3. Approved and compounded are not the same thing. The rules just changed, and a licensed provider is the person to guide you, not an ad.
And your one action step for this week, whether you're on a GLP-1, considering one, or just weight loss curious, get 2 short strength sessions on your calendar. Just 2. Bodyweight squats, a set of push-ups against the counter, some rows with a resistance band, whatever meets you where you are. You're building the foundation that makes everything else work.
If this helped clear the fog for you, do us a favor and share it with someone over 40 who's been quietly wondering about all this. Drop a comment and tell us where you are in your journey. We read them. And subscribe so you don't miss what's next.
Because it's not too late. It's just different.
Thanks for listening. Today's episode was brought to you by GetSkinnyOnline.com, your source for medically guided GLP-1 weight loss services. They have popular peptides like Semaglutide and Tirzepatide in injectable, liquid, and pill forms to make your weight loss journey easy. Go to GetSkinnyOnline.com or check the show notes for the link. See you next time.